Black Power family, this is your brother Floyd Williams coming to you. This got something I want to share, a message that I think is very important and critical and imperative that we act upon as a family. You know, I believe that we are, even though we catching a lot of hell, and it seems like the road ahead is getting darker, and even myself, with the knowledge that I have, you know, I find myself sometimes, you know, getting angry, getting frustrated and upset, and I know better. You know what I'm saying? I know better, but still at the same time, you know, I deal with that the set part of myself, you know, why I do fall to the emotional part of my being. You know, sometimes that's only because I'm passionate in connection and relation to the Holy Black family. And I feel as a black man, it's like, damn, how much can a person allow to transpire on their watch? How much can a person or a race allow to transpire on their watch? You know what I'm saying? So, only thing I'm saying is it eats me up. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it literally eats me up, and I know it's not supposed to, because I know I am, you know, Heru. I am a Sar. You know, I do have control over my energy and my being, but damn! Listen, a lot of the stuff we go on, it really eats me up, it bothers me to the core. And if I don't move on from it, I go on to a whole different mode, tangent, and on a rant and a tirade, and that's not what I want to do right now. But so I'm going to just exert my energy through this video, channel my energy through this video, you know. And what I'm going to speak on is revolution and transformation. Revolution and transformation centered around the condition of the Holy Black family. But before I do that, I'm going to get into a small reading of an excerpt from the Purim Heru, which is frequently miscalled the Book of the Dead. Okay, and this is a book of dealing with evocations, okay, prayer, and guidance, not just for the afterlife, but for the realm that we is operating in now. Okay, and so I'm gonna share some of that with you. Okay, and I just sporadically open up the book and say I'm gonna read from whatever it is that the book opens at, and it just so happens that the portion that I open up the book at is in line with my message today. And so all praise be to the ancestors for that. Praise be to the ancestors for that, you know, and to the creatress and creator life force of the universe, you know, whom I identify with by the names of Atum, Amen, Amen Ra, you know, Nebhet, Aset. You know, I evoke all those names because those are my names, you know. Okay, but I'm just going to read a brief portion. This is the Book of the Dead, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, but the real name is the Purim Heru, the Book of Coming Forth by Day. I will use the Book of the Dead name. That's only just so that we could be on the same page. Just so we could be on the same page. But bear in mind, it is called the Purim Heru, the Book of Coming Forth by Day. This is the E.A. Wallace Budge translation and transliteration. Okay, I can't show you the cover because mine is gone from usage, but this is what it is, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, by translated and transliterated by Wallace Budge. Alright, so I'm going to begin reading my excerpt. But the body does not lie in the tomb inoperative, For by prayers and ceremonies on the day of burial it is endowed with the power of changing into a sahu, or spiritual body. Thus we have such phrases as I germinate, like the plants. My flesh germinated. I exist, I exist, I live, I germinate. I germinate. Your soul liveth, your body germinated by the command of Ra, himself without diminution, without defect, like unto Ra forever and ever. The word Sahu, though at times written with the determinative of a mummy, lying on a bier like cot. Body indicates a body which has attained a degree of knowledge and power and glory, whereby it becomes henceforth lasting and incorruptible. The body which has become a Sehu has the power of associating with the soul and upholding converse with it. In this form it can ascend into heaven and dwell with the gods and with the Sehu of the gods and with the souls of the righteous. In the pyramid text we have these passages. Rise up thou Teta. Excuse me. When I say the name Teta, you can replace the name Teta with your name. Teta is the person in this scene who is making and who has made his transition. Okay? So you can replace that Teta name with your name. Visualize yourself becoming renewed, transformed, resurrected, transitioning from one state to the next state. Okay? So you can replace your name with that. Stand up, thou mighty one, being strong. Sit down with the gods. Do thou that which did Osiris in the great house and anew. Thou hast received your Sah. Not shall be footed your foot in heaven, not should thou be turned back upon earth. Y'all wonder what in the world does that have to do with anything? So I'm going to go ahead and just break it down. I want to keep this video short as possible. This should be read literally, but to get the real meaning where you can apply it to yourself, you want to read in between the lines and break down the symbolism of it. How can we resurrect while physically still living? How can we change our physical realities? How can we alter and renew this physical body and make it become a Sahu, or a glorious body, but yet while still in it? Okay, and this takes us back to our ancestral knowledge that we always frequently exercise. Always. It was incessantly, because everything in our environment and in our world originally was designed to cultivate and speak to the mind. Okay? Was to speak to the imagination so that it would ever expand and increase and amplify. Everything that we did in our society and in our world was conducive to the cultivation of the mind and mind control. Yes. Yes. Okay? And being in tune with ourselves and nature. Okay? Now, the mind controls the body. The brain is the first computer, and the mind controls the body. The mind and the brain, they work together. The mind and the brain works together. But the mind is in brain, and the brain is not mind. But the mind is like an offshoot of the brain. You know, just as we have just as we have subtle energy centers that we don't see that affect our physical organs, the mind has the same relation to our being, to the brain. Okay, it has the same type of relationship, using that illustration that I explained. So based on the state of our mind and its thoughts and its thinking, we program our bodies physiologically to act a certain way, to be a certain way, to take on certain forms, and we create certain states of existence and conditions through the programming of the mind. The mind affects us physiologically and spiritually. Okay, so the mind, based on the thought, could determine whether the blood or the cells is going, when they renew, how are they going to be? Are they going to be good? You know, the mind determines whether or not we're going to be sick or we're going to be well. Okay? So what I'm telling you is, through the mind, we could rearrange our atoms and our molecular structure, okay? And we can make our bodies glorious, okay? Through the practice of meditation, we are communing with what people consider to be God or the Lord of the universe. Right then, we are in communion with the universal soul. Right then. Okay? And our bodies become glorious and in the altered state, which is why sometimes in a meditative state, your body seems to feel light. You feel like you are floating. You feel like you are levitating. You know, you feel like an atom or a particle just out there, floating, drifting, moving along. That's how you feel. That's because your molecular structure has changed, and you have reached a different state and level of existence. Now, in this passage that I had used, that I read, it used the word inoperative. Inoperative. And that's not what we are as a people. We never have been inoperative as a people. Inoperative means speculative, you see. And looking at the great works that our ancestors had done in the erections of the pyramids, we were not speculative people. We were operative, you see. So we were operative masons. I just threw that in there. You know, I didn't have to, but we was operative masons. We weren't speculative masons. We were, we was operative people. Okay? And just to go ahead and back up the connection of the mind and the effect of the mind and the brain together, and the effect that the mind has on the body, and the practicing of our ancestral sciences, and proving what I said, along the base of the spine, you have this energy segment, kundalini, coiled serpent energy that goes up the spine, the vertebrae. And in the vertebrae, we have 33 vertebrae. Okay? Okay? That's where you get your 33 degrees from. So the 33 degrees only has to do with the transferring and the traveling of energy that expands our mind. And this is where the concept comes from, that sky is the limit. The only limitations that you have are the ones that we place on ourselves. Because other than that, the mind is as limitless and vast, like the physical expanse of the sky or the heavens that we see. Okay, so we're gonna get into revolution, transformation, and transmutation today. Okay? Because all that exists is energy. All that exists is energy. And despite our hellish conditions and the hell that we is catching and the dark period that is perceived that we're in as a people, we actually are at the gate of victory. Okay? And we right now we're at the gate of heaven. But we have become like Lazarus. We become like a Lazarus, like people lying at the gate. And we don't have to be lying at that gate. We could get on up. We have so much stuff that's naturally on our side from the net, that's naturally taking place. But imagine if we did just get on up as a black family. Get on up. Imagine if we just got up. We got stuff naturally working on our side. Naturally. Okay? Black people ain't going around killing white people, but they still disappearing off the planet. Huh? In Europe, they have a negative birth rate. They did a census in 2010, and from that 2010 census, you have a 40-year projection. But basically, you know, they came up with the conclusion that for the first time in America, whites are said to become the minority. You know, I was looking at one statistic. It said in 1990, whites made up 75% of the U.S. population. Okay, 1990, 75%. But by the time 2050 comes around, they are set to become 52% of the U.S. population. Okay, and this ain't got anything to do with what we as a black family is doing. They disappearing, family. They disappearing. Okay, so a lot of this stuff, you know, that's going on is because they simply know what time it is. They know what time it is. Okay, they know what time it is. But imagine if we did take more of initiative. But I'm gonna get into the power of this mind, because this is what we got to get back to, is the power of the mind. We are in a year, according to the white man's calendar, you know, 2015. So, from pre-civil rights to the civil rights era, post-civil rights era, the holy black family, we still are in the same condition of state. I don't care what physical, what we have procured or gotten physically, and by way of a home or a car, being able to go through the front door versus the back door, being able to sit at the white man's dinner table, you know, whatever. Being able to have a cup of coffee or tea with them. I don't give a damn about none of it. Okay? Because as a people, we still are in the same condition. How so? How are we in the same condition? I'm going to point how we are in the same condition. Post-civil rights, we still in the same condition. Before the civil rights era and during the civil rights era, we had the mantra or the rallying cry, "We shall overcome." 2015, we have Black Lives Matter. We shall overcome. Black Lives Matter. What is the difference between the two? What's the difference between "we shall overcome" and Black Lives Matter? I don't know. I thought over it, and I can't come up with a difference between the two, because both of them, "We shall overcome" and Black Lives Matter, we still are making an appeal and an argument and a case. We're still trying to persuade We're still trying to convince. We still trying to get people to see our vision of ourselves as being worth something, as being worthy, as being fit or should be deemed to have a chance to operate so-called freely in a society. It's still both asking to be a part of. It's still asking to be left alone. It's still saying, let us be, let us make it. It's the same. It's conveying the same message. There's no difference between we shall overcome and Black Lives Matter. And that right there is stagnation. What is stagnation? Stagnation means to cease to be, to cease to run or float, the ceasing of movement, the lack of progress. Okay? That's the Holy Black family. That's what we is caught up in. Stagnation. Okay? And also we have inertia. Inertia is defined as maintaining a state of existence or speed of motion along a particular path of course until an external force comes along and moves it and pushes it, activates it or stimulates it. Okay? And right now for us as a Holy Black family, this external force is the white supremacy system. That's the external force. This external force is steady telling us you are not American. You're not a part of this system. You must go. You are the problem. You are the enemy. Okay? This is ours. You are not a part of it. Okay? But yet we're still stagnant. We're still in this same place. We shall overcome. Black Lives Matter. You see, we're not progressing. We're not progressing. Because we're still asking. We're still seeking. We're still looking to integrate. We're still looking to just be a part of. Okay, we're still trying to go along to get along, and we're losing because of that. Okay, we can't as a people just be focused on the white man. What I mean by that is we can't keep on making appeals to him. We can't keep on saying, let me eat with you. Let me come through the front door. Look, I am smart. I can do this. I can do that. I got a degree. Give me this. Let me in this. Let me be a part of this, you see? Because in that process of so-called trying to stand with white people or trying to stand with other races, that leaves us standing in a state of dependency. Because while you're standing, you're in a state of dependency. And in this state of standing, which is stagnation, what are we not doing? I'm going to tell you what we are not doing. Because while you are standing and trying to be accepted by them, we're still in a state of dependency, because who you are trying to stand with, they are not going to build up your damn economy. Nobody is going to build our economy in our world but us. You see? And this is, and that ostracizes us. That keeps us out of the power. And all respecting people have their own economies and their own industry. You see, so we're standing and trying to integrate and going along and get along. We're truly not doing us. We're not doing us. While we should be doing us. Okay? Everybody goes for itself. Everybody operates on the principle of race first and nationality except for us, the holy black family. We have tried every single alternative there is out there to try to have peace and the so-called coexist and the so-called to get along. We tried every alternative there is out there except for one, and that is us. We have to try us. We have to try the holy black family. I don't care what avenue, medium you get on that brings you to it, but whatever it is, that avenue that you choose to get with, okay, rather it's the comedic science, okay, rather it's dealing with more science, you know, you want to be Hebrew, Israelite, okay, Christian, Judaism, whatever it is. However you enter into any of these things, the center and the nucleus of it must be blackness. I don't give a damn. It got to be blackness. Because outside of that, it's a wrap. It has to be blackness. Okay? Because we tried everything except for us. That's what we got to do. We got to do us. And when we was doing us, we was flourishing. So we got to get back to loving ourselves. We got to get back to believing in ourselves. Do we not believe in ourselves? That's what we got to do. That's what we have to return to. Return back to these ancestral mental sciences and believe in ourselves. We have to try on blackness. Because blackness is more than color. It's the origin of life. Okay? So we have to reconnect with our power source. It's so much of our being that we are denying. So much of our being that we are denying. And power ready to be tapped and resurrected, but it is dormant. It's there. All this stuff is already encoded in our DNA. Okay, nobody is groomed and cultivated more for success than us. We are designed to flourish, designed to flourish, designed to be successful. You know what I'm saying? Designed to exist, designed for life. That's us, and that's why we still are here. That's why we still are here. We possessors of the dominant gene. Okay, we have all it is. But we got to come back to these, to our mental sciences, to our spiritual sciences, and a belief in ourselves. You know, Black America spends $1.1 trillion annually. So what did that tell us? That tells us that we ain't broke. We ain't broke. We got money. But we broken mentally and spiritually. Okay, and that's because we are not trying us. Everything else has us denying us, has us denying our divinity. You see, we got to get back to this field of blackness, loving ourselves and believing ourselves, and we have to give ourselves a try. Because right now, they say a people or a person who don't know their history or past is bound to repeat it. And right now, it's so much transpiring and going on. History is being repeated. Charleston, South Carolina shooting, 9 killed. 4 little girls bombed in Birmingham. That's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. Okay? Jordan Russell Davis, Oscar Grant, okay, Janarlo Wilson. All these are modern day Emmett Tills. It's the same damn thing. History is repeating itself. Now they say history, a person don't have knowledge of themselves or their history is bound to repeat the past. So now I pose the question, what is going on? Because they say when you know better, you do better, or the more that you know, the more that you will grow. So there's one or two things that is transpiring. Either the professors or possessors of knowledge who claim to be a professor or possessor of knowledge don't possess or know what it is they proclaim to know, right? Or it's not enough people that have been awakened, or it's not enough of the masses, it's not enough of our brothers and sisters that have been awakened. So anywhere it goes, we are really in for some self-reflection, okay, self-critiquing and self-analyzing. Work needs to be done, work must be done, and it's a lot of it to be done. You know, as I'm speaking to you guys, I'm speaking to myself as well. I'm not excluded, but I'm included in this message as well. That's what we got to return to. Return to these ancestral sciences and to the power of the mind, claiming what's ours, loving ourselves, believing ourselves, and we got to give ourselves a try, Holy Black family. We got to give ourselves a try. And keep in mind the relation of the mind to the brain in this relationship. We gotta come back home. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no reason for us to be like no Lazarus lying at the gate. All we got to do is get up. The netter, the gods, is with us. Nature is working with us. But if we get more active, and reach more of my brothers and sisters, family, man, we could do this, man, for real. You know what I'm saying? It's ours, and there's no reason for it not to be ours, but we got to try us. I keep on stressing, we got to try us. That's what we got to do. We got to try us. That's the one thing we have not tried, is us. We got to come back to that. That is it, point blank, period. You know, a lot of people I talk to, you know, try to talk to me about diversity and multiculturalism and, you know, everything else. But that right there, that's why we losing. That's why we losing. And I'm going to get ready to close out. And I'm going to leave off an example of how multiculturalism and diversity is killing us, and how much we don't think of ourselves as a holy black family. When a family is planning a weekend or a vacation or planning an evening, thinking about something that they looking to be fun, explorative, creative, different, or exotic, you know, if it has something to do with food, let's go out to dinner tonight, you guys. Let's go out to dinner tonight, family. Okay, they make it to the restaurant, wherever they're going. Boom. They pull up. What is it going to be? It's going to be an American restaurant. It's going to be a Chinese restaurant. It's going to be a Mexican restaurant. It's going to be an Indian restaurant. It's going to be any kind of a restaurant except for an African restaurant. Okay? Let's plan a family vacation. Let's go somewhere. Okay, they're gonna go to Europe, Spain, Brazil, Germany. I done met so many black people they zealous about Germany. Okay, but nobody's planning a vacation. So you know what? Let's go on a family vacation and see if we're gonna go to Africa. You see what I'm saying? We don't even think Africa. You see what I'm saying? We're not thinking about ourselves. We're not thinking about ourselves. And those are two good prime examples and illustrations that should hit home, that is the most real examples. right there. We ain't even thinking about. We ain't even thinking us. You see what I'm saying? This integration, killing us, killing us. You see, I'm just showing you how we've been taken away from ourselves. So this is what it is that we must try. If we want to compete as a people, we want to pull ourselves up as a nation. We must practice nationality. We must become race first oriented. Okay, and we must come back home to blackness. At the nucleus of everything that we do, it got to be blackness. Okay, it got to be blackness. That's what it got to be centered on. Okay, it got to be blackness. With that, black family, let's break this inertia. Let's break this stagnation. Let's break this cycle of inoperativeness. And all we gotta do is come back home, think black first, think race first. Okay, red, black, and green. The mission on this search said, I love black people. One aim, one destiny, one people. Okay, and we was in this, operated in this spirit. We was on, like butter on popcorn. Okay, we was what everybody wanted. We was the movie. We was the movie. And the so-called white scholars from all over the world, they came to our ancestors and worshiped at their feet. Huh? They came to our ancestors and worshipped at their feet. So when we was truly on this blackness, okay, like I said, hey, it was on and popping. We was the business, and we still are the business. They know it, but we are the ones who have gotten away from it. You got to get back to it. This is an American dollar. Ain't nothing European on this dollar. Everything on this dollar is African. Everything on this dollar is dealing with the comedic sciences of what I'm talking about, is dealing with the power of the mind and transmutation. Okay? Everything on this dollar dealing with the power of the mind and transmutation. But I'm not going to go off on no tangent on that. But I'm just trying to let you know that blackness is the foundation, and we got to get back to it. With that, black power. I'm going to close out, family. Before I do, share a couple of my books with you guys that I'm the author of. The Origin of Racism. Author of this book, The Origin of Racism. Okay, family? You can find the book on Amazon. You can get with our good brother, Mintu Son, Artifacts Clothing. He always been a good supporter of mine. You know, that's a very solid brother. I met him in the physical and the flesh. Black Power brother. Appreciate all your support. The Origin of Racism. It's on Amazon. Okay. We have The Unspoken Truth. This was my first book. The Unspoken Truth. And family, if you're interested in this book, The Unspoken Truth, I would email it to you for free of charge. Free of charge. I would email you this book. My email is floydwilliams14@gmail.com. I would email you this book for free. You know, I have grown a lot and evolved since I wrote this book, but there's still a lot of truth in this book that is relevant and applicable to today and what is going on. I break down a lot of sciences in this book, dealing with religion, spirituality, history, and just you know, our overall resurrection and rising in the black family, period. I'm breaking down a lot of the dogmatism and indoctrination in this book. This is The Unspoken Truth. And I have the Holy Black Papyrus. This is my newest book, you know. And I also got to give much love to my brother, 7-star General Sarah Seti of the BPC, also known as the Black Power Cartel. You know, he wrote the foreword for the book, so I thank him for his contribution. And that's him over here, General Sarah Seti, and that's me on the other side. This is the Holy Black Papyrus. And you can find the Holy Black Papyrus. You can find it on Lulu. Okay. and you can find it on Amazon.com. And for everybody else that's in St. Paul, Minnesota, you see me moving in the streets, I got a book on me. I keep my books in my vehicle. Alright, but the Holy Black Papers, this is the book. It's dedicated to the Holy Black family and the resurrection of the black family, and I address a lot of sociological issues in this book, psychological, okay, everything. Military strategies is in this book, and just overall survival is in this book. And I make a lot of connections in this book back to Africa. One of the featured chapters in this book, the Holy Black Papyrus, is titled Praise Be to the Nile. I'm going to let the book speak for itself. You know, other than that, Black Power family, thank you for all your time and for listening. You know, the power is yours. You know, like Marcus Garvey said, hey, the black man, black family, we get tired and we decide it's over with, it's over with. We could change our condition within 24 hours. All it takes is the changing of the damn mind. Black power.